2024 could turn out to be one of the greatest years for indie games. You need proof? Okay, here are 10 of the best upcoming indie games, and as always, I'm sure that there are games on this list you've never heard of before. I'm so excited to show you these games, so let's get started right away. First up, we have Voidrot, an action platformer with Metroidvania elements. Your task is to descend from a world burned by the stars and explore the multidimensional depths. On your journey, you'll find artifacts that change the way you move and fight, so there's a lot to experiment with to find your playstyle. This game has a big focus on fluid movement and challenging platforming, but of course you encounter a lot of enemies and bosses too. Combat itself looks super intense thanks to all the stuff enemies and bosses throw at you, so there will be a lot of things to dodge. I don't know about you, but Voidrot gives me heavy Eterna Noctis, Crowsworn and Hollow Knight vibes, and that's what makes it super interesting. Okay, I just found out about this game recently, but it immediately became one of my most anticipated indie games. Fallen Tier The Ascension is a Metroidvania about saving the world by uncovering the protagonist's mysterious past. Combat not only looks super cool, the game also allows you to highly customize your fighting style with a variety of abilities and friends you can summon to aid you in combat. Whenever you need a bit of extra power, you can also transform into a beast and unleash new attacks. Exploration will be quite interesting too, because decisions you make during the story will have an effect on the world itself, blocking or unlocking paths. Speaking of unlocking, by clicking that cute red button you can unlock access to weekly videos about indie games, RPGs and more, and support me. Anyway, Fallen Tier The Ascension is now sitting at the top of my wishlist. Animal Well is a Metroidvania without typical combat, but rather focus on exploration and solving puzzles. Observing your surroundings and finding inconspicuous details to unlock secret paths is key in this game. The devs even claim that secrets are so well hidden that it will take players years to find everything. Bold statement. The spooky atmosphere is probably one of the most important and unique elements of this game, and something that really piqued my interest. If you're looking for a rather unconventional Metroidvania experience, you should add Animal Well to your wishlist. The Blocky Squire is easily one of the most unique entries on this list. This action-adventure blends 2D and 3D gameplay into a quirky, charming and incredibly beautiful mix. But not only the perspective is in constant change, so is the gameplay as well. You jump and run in 2D areas like Super Mario, you fight in Zelda-like action combat, you fly around with a jetpack, fight monsters in a punch-out-like combat, and so much more. And since this is an action-adventure, there will be a bunch of puzzles to solve as well. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in this game, and I can't wait to discover everything. You missed the good old days of classic Castlevania? Maybe Beyond the Ice Palace 2 can satisfy that desire for more Castlevania. This action platformer / Metroidvania puts a heavy focus on exploration, finding secret areas and hidden treasures. For that, the protagonist is already equipped with the best possible tool. 2 chains to swing, pull and destroy. Bosses are huge, the pixel graphics are gorgeous, and the retro vibe is great. If this is even remotely as good as Symphony of the Night, then it could be a real retro highlight. Amberbane is a Metroidvania where the gameplay is heavily inspired by Avatar: The Last Airbender. You must master the elements to survive in combat, overcome platforming challenges, and discover hidden areas and treasures. I love whenever Metroidvania manages to make use of abilities for combat and exploration. Combat itself is fast-paced, requires good reflexes, but also allows fluid movement, which all looks highly satisfying. On top of that, the protagonist also seems to be able to transform into a demon, which is just so cool. If you like me and love Metroidvanias and games where elemental powers play a big part, then I'd recommend you add Amberbane to your wishlist. Alright, I'm really interested in this one. Runa is a turn-based JRPG that brings together a lot of cool elements. It takes place in the science fantasy world, which looks really nice in the trailer. You'll be able to spend a lot of time building your relationships with other characters and even date them and have a romance. Dungeon cities in the overworld will feature a lot of elemental-based puzzles, which I always love in a JRPG. But wait, there's more. You'll be able to build your own base and recruit characters that give you access to all sorts of benefits, like a research lab, elaborate dialogue options, a dynamic day and night cycle, and the fact that the protagonist isn't silent are the cherry on top. This looks highly promising, and I really want to play it as soon as possible. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what this game is about, but it looks incredibly beautiful. In Ghost Bike, it's your mission to revive the last of the Ghost Bikes, a magical courier who rode between the world of the living and the world of the dead. So what you'll be doing is exploring the semi-open world, challenging other cyclists and finding all sorts of bike parts. With that you can customize and upgrade your bike to challenge even better cyclists, perform stunts and so much more. This looks super unconventional and super relaxing, so if you're into that, maybe consider adding this to your wishlist. Hyper Light Breaker is probably one of the better known games on this list, but I wanted to mention it anyway because not enough people talk about it. But for everyone who never heard of this game, Hyper Light Breaker is an action RPG by the creators of Hyper Light Drifter. In this you explore an ever-changing world, which is a mix of handcrafted and procedurally generated areas. Combat is super fast and fluid, and you'll be able to make use of many different weapons and abilities. If you ever need support, you can team up with your friends and explore this incredible cel-shaded world together. Just by looking at the trailers, I get excited to play this game, and I really hope it doesn't take too long until we get our hands on this. Okay, I admit, this game probably won't be released this year, but it caught my attention a while ago and I wanted to include it and draw your attention to this. Full Circle is a JRPG heavily inspired by the classics from the PlayStation 1 era. Combat works similarly to Legend of Dragoon because you have to make well-timed inputs in order to extend your combo. As you can see from the trailer footage, the blend of pixel characters and 3D environments looks super stunning. Sadly, we don't have a whole lot of information about this game yet, but I have a feeling that it's worth keeping an eye on this game and following the development. So there you have it, 10 of the best upcoming indie games. What are some indie games you are looking forward to? Let me know in the comments. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video, as it helps me with this small channel a lot. Alright, thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.